Hello, Chef Ramsay. So today I am making a pan-seared salmon with ginger, garlic, and scallion over some white jasmine rice. Okay, so I'm going to get started. First, what I did is I bought a piece with the skin on, but it's too big, so I'm going to cut it in half. So I'm going to cut it right about here. Okay, here's one. And show you the other one is two. Okay, so while that is going on, I'm going to take this off. Wash my hands. Don't need it anymore. And I'm just going to do a quick prep because the cooking is very fast. When you buy the scallions, it looks like this. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to just take off the edges, peel it, and then in the back it's kind of dirty, so you want to take some of that off. So here I go. This is acting as my trash. So what I want to do is I want about 1 inch. So I'm going to straighten it up like that. And then this, I'm just going to take about a little less than 1 inch. So it has different varieties. So it looks kind of pretty, all different sizes. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to put it over here on this side. And then for my scallion, I'm going to cut it in half because I want it to be soft. If I left it as a whole, it would taste very oniony. So I'm cutting it in half, like so. I want to put it over here so that I can separate the two of them. I'm going to take some my onion, and what I want to do is I would like to take a slice of it. So I want like this. So like about that much. So I'm just going to break it up a little easier, so when I go do the stir fry, I don't have to break it in the pan. Okay, so my friend the onions, they always make me cry. So I'm going to put it right here in the middle. Right there. And then I'm going to take some of my red pepper. It always makes me cry. There. Okay. Whew. I'm gonna go wash my hand. Hopefully that will just stop the onions from making me cry. I'm washing my knife off. I just washed the knife off just to get rid of some of the onion. Okay, so for the ginger, I like to take about a piece like this. Eyes are still watering. And I'm going to peel it. This is how my mom taught me how to peel it. I know a lot of people like to take it with a spoon and, scoop it like this. That's another way of doing it too. Either way, knife or spoon. But I find that if you do both of them, it's good because as you get closer to here, the knife will work better to take off the skin. But, I mean, it's okay to eat the skin. You won't die from it or anything like that. But pretty wise, it would look much better if you took off most of the skin. So anyway, here it is. I'm still sniffling. All right, so here we go. I took that piece off. I'll take another piece. See how it is? And the knife, I like to use it towards the end for the little pieces around, this edge right here. It's easier to do it with the spoon when you have a flat surface to do, but as you get to the smaller pieces, then you run out of surface area. Okay, so here I go with that. And for example, if you need to take some out from here, just take your knife and just scoop it around the edges. Okay. I'm going to take this off. so. All right, so like so. Okay. So the ginger is here, and I'd like to slice it right in half, flip it down so it stays firm. Like that. Okay. Take a half. Like so. And then I'm going to slice it down smaller to tiny small pieces. So that way it cooks evenly. Okay. And this little guy. Okay. So the little round one, I just leave it there when I cook for flavor, but I won't. You don't have to eat that one. So here I go. Little julienne pieces. Then we gather these other pieces here. Like so. Place it down. And then just chop it. Like this. Okay. So I'm going to take these pieces that I have here and just place it over here. I'm going to take the salmon piece and put it over here. Put it over here. After I cut the ginger, then I'm going to turn on the stove, on my frying pan. It's just I wanted to get a head start and cut all of this up first so you can see. Instead of me already pre-chopping it. I wanted you to know that I do know how to chop, so I figured. There we go. And in total, I have about 2 pieces of ginger. Here. There you go. So that's all I'm going to take. I don't like the color of this ginger. It was just a little darker. Darker means it's just strong. And I didn't want it to be too strong. So I only took the light colored ginger pieces. The dark one here, I don't like the color of it, so I'm just going to discard it. Okay, so for the garlic, put it down here. Take it out. And the shell should just twist off like this. In the meantime, I'm going to turn on my stove to high to get it to start. Take off my lid. And chop some of that garlic out. Just going to mince them up. And so in total, I have about 3 pieces of garlic. So I'm just lining them up, cutting them small. I can mince them up. And the reason why I just didn't want to pan sear salmon by itself. I just love the fact that it tastes better with the ginger, garlic, and scallion, because at my house, we always have in the summertime ginger, garlic, and scallions. So It's good for you. I just like the taste better than just plain salmon. So I'm just mincing about 3 cloves. I don't want them too fine because I want to be able to see them. Okay. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to put it right over here. And for the dish on the side, I want to put some zucchini and squash, just to make it look pretty. So I'm going to put it right here, and then I'm going to put it, you have another plate. Okay, so I want the zucchini. I'm going to put the zucchini and the squash. So I'm only going to use, because it's only from one dish. Now these have already been pre-washed. Right there. I'm just going to cut off a little bit here, and a little bit here. And I'm going to cut it in half. And here we go. This is one of my children's favorite meals because I like all the vegetables. They like it with the jasmine rice because it soaks up all of the juices from the pan-seared fish. Sometimes we like to eat it with salmon, and sometimes the children like to eat with like a trout or a striped bass in the summertime because we live here by the beach, by the ocean, and my father likes to catch fish for his pastime fun. So I'm just going to put right over here. Let's see what this is. So what I'm going to do is put a little oil. I say about 2 tablespoons of the olive oil, and I'm going to turn it down to 6. I'm just going to coat this pan for a moment and just set it aside, and just so I can separate these two. There you go. So I can separate the two. And then I'm going to start. I'm going to put this away over here. I'm going to start with my pan searing. Okay, so I'm going to face down. I take my salt and pepper. I like to put the salt down first, but not really the pepper, only because the pepper will burn. So I did it on one side here, but I'm going to fry the other side with the skin down. Okay, so, and then afterwards I'll top it off with the pepper. So going back here on the stove. Giving it a couple of seconds. I'm getting my 2 favorite things, my spatula and my tongue, in case I need to flip. Okay, so I put about 2 tablespoons of the olive oil in, and away from me, I'm going to take the fish away from me. I'm going to place it down. kind of coat the pan a little bit. Fairly large pan, so I might need 1 more tablespoon in there. That way I don't have to coat it all around. Okay, so now salmon cooks very fast. If you come a little closer and see this, you'll notice that the pink up top here means the salmon's still raw. But if you see around the edges right there, see how it's starting to turn pink? That lets me know that the other side is getting crispy. So I'm going to flip it this way so you can see it right there. See it? Oh. I'm going to flip it for a little bit. Let's see. Not quite where I want it to be yet. I'm waiting for the white to go up just a little bit more. A lot of people like to eat salmon a little, they can eat it, you know, raw. It's okay because they eat it in sushi. This is sushi grade, but I like mine to be opaque, which means that pinkish light color, not the bright color. So I want to show you what it looks like right now. See? Not quite where I want it to be yet, because the thick piece takes a little more time. Now you see why I like the tongs? The tongs are easier for me because I can maneuver things around. But I have the spatula so that I can easily flip it when it's done. But sometimes I just do it all with the tongs. It depends. Now I want to show you. The skin is starting to look brown. I just want a couple more seconds in there. If you can see it, just a couple more. Because I almost want to get a char to it. I want to get a nice char, and a couple more seconds it should do it. One of the things about cooking salmon is that you want to flip it so bad, but you can't because it will stop the process of caramelizing the skin on the other side. Okay, so usually this is my cue. When you see the fish like this, see how it's got that nice pink texture around there, the light pink texture? That means it's time to flip it. So there you go. I flipped it away from me. This guy's a little bit bigger, so I'm just looking at him a little bit more. And then I'm going to flip him as well. Get a nice shot of the color. I want to show you the skin. That's the color that I was trying to achieve. So I'm going to swirl it around a little bit. This pan is a non-stick pan. Give it a couple of seconds. The skin is nice and crispy. And then I'm going to put a little salt. I'm going to put a little salt on the top because I didn't do it earlier on. And this is when I'm going to put the pepper on. Because I didn't want it to burn earlier on. So we're going to swirl it around a little bit. Couple more seconds. I could tell by pushing on it because it's starting to get firm. This one's going to need a little bit more time because he's quite large. Okay. So I'm going to flip it over and see. The color on the other side looks like this. Just wanted to show you that. Now I didn't put the pepper on that, so I'm going to put the pepper on it now. These are a little bit more bouncier, so I don't want to put them on right yet. Sometimes I take my tongue and I go like this to brown the other side. like this. See? I'm just holding it upside down, wherever the oil is. Couple more seconds because he's almost there. I'm taking and checking over. See the color? There you go. So you get to see. The other one is done. That's how it looks on one side right here. And that's how it looks like on the other side, okay? So I'm going to take him. And I'm going to put him on my plate. This guy was a little huge, so. And I'm going to feel with it. See how it bounces back? Then I know this is done. Okay? See how it bounces? That means it's done, okay? So I'm going to flip it over just to show you on the other side. Got it? Okay. I'm going to take them off. And I'm going to put it right here. Actually, I like the other piece better. Piece on top like this. So I wanted to show you. Okay. Taking this off. While I have my oil from frying the fish that's seasoned with the salt and the pepper already, what I would like to do is take the zucchini from earlier on and give it a quick stir fry. So I'm going to put it on here. I took it away from the heat because I didn't want it to splat on me. So there you go. This is how the zucchini looks like. And put it right here. I actually like that plate. I use this plate for this. Perfect. So what I want to do is hold this flat. I love to eat fish, but the only one thing bad about eating fish is when you fry it, it splats everywhere. So I want to make sure that it's nice and clean. Back to my tongue again. Give it a nice quick stir. There we go. Give it a nice quick stir. The salt and pepper was already on there. So what I'd like to do is, I always put like just a pinch of paprika, just like this. It just makes the, it's colorful. It's just a sprinkle, if you see, just a sprinkle like that. And then a sprinkle of my garlic, right? And I'm going to show you what that little sprinkle does. If you could tell, it changes the vegetable. It makes it really bright. A little bit of paprika just makes it a little bit bright. I'm just letting it melt down just a little bit. I want it to be al dente, but I don't want it to be raw. And I can tell as it curls up a little bit. And I can also feel it with my tongue. Okay, so see how it's like a little soft right now? I'm going to take all my vegetables from earlier on. I'm going to add my red peppers in there and just a few slices of the onion. Try to separate the onion. And I'm going to just mix it around. This is only for my saute. I'm going to leave it right here. want to take a look at it, this is how it looks like. It's bright, it's vibrant, it's colorful. I have already, like I said, I already have the salt and pepper from earlier on, so I don't want to put that on yet. What I'm looking for is I'm waiting for the onion to get a little bit more translucent. A little bit more translucent. There you go. And we are almost done. I'm going to try one right now, the thinner piece. Perfect. But with my stir fry, what I like to do is add a little chicken broth. Just a little pellet, even like a quarter. Just give it a nice quick stir. Okay. Now I add just a little bit of salt. I don't want it to be too salty. And a pinch of pepper in there now. And the fry is all done. And what I like to do, I want to take the tops off of these things because I'll be using them. A little pinch of garlic and a little bit of parsley. So if you want to look, this is how I would like it to look like. Okay? Let's stir this around and it's done. So what I'm going to do is for my plating, I'm going to put it over here on the side for my plating. Okay. And the juices from that are here. So I'm going to take a ladle of that and just pour it over the vegetables. There you go. I'm just going to pour it over the vegetables. So this is done. What I'm going to do is the rest of them, we have too much, so I'm just going to put it right over here. So in the meantime, my pan is right here. I'm just taking out the seeds from the zucchini. Put it back on the stove. It's still on 8 right now. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put of olive oil and just 3 tablespoons of it. 2 to 3 tablespoons. It should look like this. I'm going to swirl it around a little bit. What I'm going to do is I would like the, remember the, by the way, this is how my plate looks like right now. I mean, people could just serve it just like this, but I just want to take it a step further because I like it to have, I'm going to put it over here so you can zoom in if you like to see how it looks like, but I want to make it Asian because I like it to be infused. Okay. Infused. So back to the pot again. Okay, back to the stove again. In order to get this to have that Asian flavor that my children love, it's on 8. What I'm going to do is I'm going to fragrance the ginger first. I'm going to put it right in the center because the center is where the oil is not going to splash in my face. Okay, so I'm going to put that there. Back to my tongue again. You know, my mom likes to cook with chopsticks, but I love to cook with tongs. It just gives me a better grip, that's all. But I do cook with chopsticks too. So anyway, over here, if you take a look at it. So So I'm letting it fragrance. I'm going to turn on high. It was on 8, but I want it on high right now. I'm going to speed up this process a little bit. So what I'm looking for is it starts to be a little brown at the edges. I want it to a little caramelize a little bit. Once it starts caramelizing, everything else is piled on and it's fairly quick. Okay? So what I'm looking for is I would like them all to be a little brown like this. See how it's got the chard on the side? It makes it pretty and it gives off a lot of fragrance. So we are almost there. If you want to take a look, that's just how it looks like. So what I'm going to do is now I'm going to add my onions. Because it's halfway done. And I'm going to add the big guy too. Yeah, stir this around a little bit. See what I mean by I wanted to break it up earlier on? Because when you break it, you don't have to keep on hitting it, you know what I mean? Give it a nice little twist, it comes right out. See how it's turning golden? Okay. Now I made a little bit more, only because the one plate is for you to see, the other plate is going to be for me to eat, so there we go, is that. Now what I'm going to do is, now I'm going to add in the garlic. I didn't want to put the garlic first because it will burn. So when everything is almost done right now, if you start seeing that your oil has shrunk a little bit, add on just another teaspoon, okay? It's olive oil, it's very good. So it should look like this right now, okay? So while that's cooking, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add in, I already have that garlic in there, but I also like a little pinch of garlic. I don't know, I would say that's a little half than a teaspoon. Now for my sauce. What I like to do is I add soy sauce. You can use any kind, but I like this Green Mountain. A lot of Asian people like to use it. So I put about, I'd say 2 tablespoons in there, in the center. And it'll start to bubble if you look at that. And I'm going to put about 1 tablespoon of oyster sauce in. There you go. And I'm going to give that a little swirl around. If it gets too thick, just pour in a little water. You'll start seeing things buzz up a little bit. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some sesame oil in. Say about 1 tablespoon. And about this much, less than a teaspoon of that. Because it gets too hot, you might not like it. So about 1 tablespoon of paprika. Okay. And chicken powder. I'm only going to use half a teaspoon, okay? Now, I'm going to swirl that around. And you're going to start to see the color change. See like this? That's the color I want it to be, right there. And you can smell it. Now I'm going to put this in. And for the sugar, I'm probably going to use 1 teaspoon of sugar. Sprinkle that around because I've got all the salt in there. I want 1 teaspoon of sugar. Let's mix it up with this. And my sauce is pretty much done. Now what I want to do is taste it first. I want to make sure that the sugar that I just put in has time to caramelize. Can you get a good picture and see how this looks like? This is how I would like the sauce to look like. See? Now let's taste it. Perfect. Alright, so I'm swirling it around a little bit. First, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my tongue back to this table and move everything aside. So here is your salmon. And here is the ginger, garlic, and scallion sauce on top. What I'm going to do is take that sauce that I have right here and just pour it over. This dish my mom created, and she told me that all of the taste is in the sauce. So I wanted to show you. Clean that up. Okay, so we're going to put a little parsley on the vegetables. I'm going to take this and just clean up my plate a little bit. I want to show you how it looks like. Can you get a close-up picture how it looks like? And you want that sauce in there because it just makes it that much better. And so for this, I'm just going to put a little mint. There you go. Now serving it, I would like to serve it with some jasmine rice. I just put it in here in a bowl. Just took it out, put it in a bowl, and then just twist it around like this, and then it comes right off. Here is this and that, and let me go get chopsticks. You always hear me about using tongs, but you don't, just in case you don't think I know how to use chopsticks. So here's the chopstick. Here I go. Delicious. Thank you so much. I hope I get a chance to cook this for you in California. Thank you.